Hello friends, my name is Gaurav Tokas and today we are going to start a new chapter of class 7 geography, chapter number 2, Inside Our Earth. In this chapter we are going to study about the layers of the earth, crust, mantle and core, the rocks and the uses, sedimentary, igneous and metamorphic, and the last topic of this chapter, minerals and its uses. So let's begin this chapter. Inside our earth, let's explore the interior parts of the earth in this chapter. Interior of the earth. So in this chapter we are going to learn about the concentric layers of the earth. Yes, earth has various concentric layers. Concentric layers means one layer within another layer, like onion. In onion, various layers after layer are there, as you are seen in this first picture. That is the picture of onion, and second picture is of earth. Earth also having various concentric layers. Example, crust, mantle, core. So these are the concentric layers which are one layer within another layer. The first layer is crust, the uppermost layer, or the first layer is known as crust. It is the thinnest layer among all the layers. When we are talking about crust, it can be classified. It can be classified or divided into two major categories. First is continental crust and second is oceanic crust. Look at the first picture. The red arrow shows the continental crust. The depth of the continental crust is 35 kilometers, whereas the oceanic crust starts from the ocean floors. Oceanic crust starts from the ocean floors and up to the mantle, means the second layer. Its depth is 5 kilometer. It means when we are started digging from the continents means where we live, where we reside, example Asia, from your school playground or from your home, when you start digging the earth's surface, you have to dig a hole of 35 kilometer to reach the mantle. So the depth of the crust from continental mass, that is 35 kilometers, whereas when you start digging from the ocean floors, you have to dig only just 5 kilometers to reach the second layer of the earth. So the first crust is divided into continental and oceanic crust. Now this continental mass or crust is made up with two minerals, silica and alumina. Silica and alumina. That's why we called it as Sial. Continental crust is made up of Sial. Si stands for silica and Al for alumina. Same way, the oceanic crust is also made up with two minerals, silica and magnesium. Si for silica, Ma for magnesium. In short, we called it as SEMA. So continental mass is made up of Sial and oceanic crust is made up of SEMA. So this is the first layer of our earth. Let's move to the second layer. It is just below the crust. This second layer is named as mantle, M-A-N-T-L-E, mantle. As you are looking in the first picture, the second layer is known as mantle. The depth of mantle is 2900 kilometers. This is classified into two categories. First is upper mantle and second is lower mantle. One more thing here, the upper mantle and the crust together known as lithosphere, as you already studied in the first chapter. The crust and the upper mantle Both together are known as lithosphere. Now move to the third and the innermost layer. The third and the innermost layer, that is core. The radius of the core is 3500 kilometers. Core is classified into two categories. One is inner core and second is outer core. The inner core is made up of iron and nickel. The inner core is made up of iron and nickel. We called it as Ni. Ni stands for nickel and Fe stands for ferrous, which means iron. The central core is very much high pressure and very much high temperature. So these are the three layers of the earth. First is crust, second is mantle, and third is core. When we called it as several concentric layers, we called it as crust, upper mantle, lower mantle, outer core, and inner core. So I think it's clear here. This is the diagram given in the NCERT Geography Class 7 book. This is the diagram of crust, mantle and core. Here it's clear that the upper mantle and the crust together known as lithosphere. This is the another diagram of NCERT book. This is the continental crust at the left side and right side is the oceanic crust. Continental crust depth is 35 km and oceanic crust depth is 5 km. Next subtopic of this chapter is rocks. Rock, any natural mass. Mass means any large block of matter. So now here the natural mass of mineral matter. The natural mass of mineral matter that makes the earth's crust, means the upper part of the earth made up of mineral matter. That natural mass is called a rock. Rocks can be of different color, size and texture. Texture means rough or smooth. So these are different colors, size and texture. Rocks can be classified into three major categories. First is igneous rocks, second is sedimentary rocks, and third is metamorphic rocks. First, igneous rock. Igneous rocks, the word derived, igneous word derived from the ignite. Ignite means fire. So it means the rock formed from fire. It means during volcanic eruption, when the molten magma comes out and flow as a lava, and when it cools down, it forms a rock. This rock is known as igneous rock. These rocks are also known as primary rocks. As you see in this GIF images, volcanic eruption and the formation of igneous rock from the molten magma or lava. These are the igneous rocks. Igneous rocks also classified into two major categories. First is intrusive igneous rock and second is extrusive igneous rock. When the molten magma comes out, on the earth's surface and it cools down on the surface of the earth, it forms the extrusive igneous rock. It means when the molten magma comes out as lava and it cools down on the earth's surface, it forms extrusive igneous rock. Example, basalt. But sometimes the molten magma open a vent in the side chambers. It opens a separate vent in the side chambers like this, the side chambers, but the crust is very much hard. The crust is very much hard and it doesn't allow the magma to come out, and when it cools deep inside the earth crust, thus it forms intrusive igneous rocks. So either magma cools down deep inside or on the earth surface. In the both way, the rock formed is known as igneous, but when it cools down inside, then it forms intrusive igneous rock. When it cools outside, it means it forms extrusive igneous rock. The example of intrusive igneous rock is granite. One more thing, the cooling process of intrusive igneous rock means inside the earth's surface, that is very much slow, because outside the igneous rock is cooled down with the help of wind and water, but inside it took thousands and lakhs of years to cool down this magma. Then move to the second rock, that is sedimentary rock. So due to heat and pressure, igneous rocks breaks into small fragments. These fragments are known as sediments. These fragments or particles are known as sediments. These sediments transported and deposited by the natural agents. Natural agents such as wind and water. Wind and water get transported and deposited these small sediments, and these sediments are get deposited layer per layer. At last they compressed and harden and form another type of rock, that is known as sedimentary rock, as you are seen in this first and second GIF. The sediments that rolls down, crack, hit each other and converts into sediments. These sediments either transported and deposited either by water in the first GIF and in the second by wind, and layer per layer these sediments all together forms a sedimentary rock. This is the picture of a sedimentary rock. The layers are clearly seen in this picture. Second interesting fact, the fossils. Fossils means the remains of the dead plants and animals. Fossils are the remains of the dead plants and animals. They are only found in the sedimentary rock. They are only found in the sedimentary rock. Example of sedimentary rock is sandstone. Move to the third type of layer, that is metamorphic. So either igneous or sedimentary. Igneous or sedimentary changed into metamorphic, third type of rock, under great heat and pressure. When great heat and pressure of the earth surface and heat of the molten magma, not the heat of the sun, that is not sufficient. So heat of the molten magma and pressure of the earth surface, igneous or sedimentary, converted into third type, that is metamorphic rock. For example, clay changes into slate and limestone into marble. In the second picture, first is limestone and second is marble. So limestone is the example of sedimentary rock and marble is the example of metamorphic rock. So next thing, how rocks are useful to us. Rocks are very hard. They are used to construct our buildings, our houses, for making roads. Even our monuments were also made up with the rocks. We can use these rocks in many games. Example, 7 stone, hopscotch, 5 stones, etc. Now here are two our monuments. First is Red Fort and second is Taj Mahal. Red Fort is made up of red sandstone. So red sandstone is the example of sedimentary rock. Whereas Taj Mahal is made up of white marble. So white marble is the example of metamorphic rock. So these are the types of rocks. Now on your screen, these are certain examples of igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic. Have a look to these examples. Now move to the second last subtopic of this chapter, that is rock cycle. So as we all know that magma comes out. Look in this GIF. In the first, I already mentioned 1 to the first picture. Yes, just this is the first GIF. The molten magma comes out and cools down, and it forms the extrusive igneous rock. Then this igneous rock breaks down into small particles. These small particles or fragments are known as sediments. These sediments get transported and deposited by wind or water. As you see in the third GIF, the water is transporting the small sediments, and then they are get deposited and compressed to form the sedimentary rocks. In the fourth one, igneous rock or sedimentary rock. This is the example of igneous, but you can also say that the igneous or sedimentary, when comes under great heat and pressure, it converts into metamorphic rock. At last, in the fifth cycle, metamorphic rock, see, in the fifth cycle, the metamorphic rock, when it comes under intense heat and pressure, it converts into molten magma. And again, molten magma comes out and makes the igneous rock, so it completes the rock cycle. So the process of transforming of the rock from one to another is known as rock cycle. These are the three types of rocks: igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic, magma, then igneous. This completes the rock cycle. Last topic of this chapter, minerals. Now, what are minerals? Minerals are naturally occurring substances. Naturally occurring substances which have certain physical properties and definite chemical composition. Let's take an example. H2O. H2O is the example of water. That is a mineral. Water is a mineral. H2O is the chemical composition of water. When we change H2 to H3 and O1 to O2, is it water now? No. It changed its chemical composition. So now this is not water. It changed to anything else. So a definite chemical composition and a physical property. This is the must for a mineral. So these are the minerals. Minerals are very much important to the humankind or to us. How? First, they are used as fuels. Example, coal, natural gas, petroleum. Minerals are also used in industries. Example, gold, uranium, aluminium, iron. They are also used in medical, means medicines, in manufacturing of medicines. They are also used in fertilizers, as fertilizers in agriculture. So these are the minerals, and minerals are the essential components of our life. Example, salt. Salt is another example of mineral. So all these minerals are very much essential for human being. So here the chapter comes to an end. If you are having any doubt, please comment in the comment box. Put in the comment box. I will definitely revert to your queries. Thank you. Good day.